Hey, what is happening? So we are going to be working on lesson 9, the first couple of pages of the packet, and we're going to be talking about prepositions. First, we're going to review some verb basics and some case usage stuff before we get into the prepositions. So when it comes to conjugating verbs, we have a first conjugation verb, O to ARE. We just want to take off that ARE of the second principal part, which is going to leave us with festen. And then just add the endings. O, AS, AT, AMUS, ATIS, ANT. Now, to conjugate sum esse, it's irregular, so we got to do this. Sum, then est, then est. Summus, estis, and sunt. Down here, translate the following verbs into English. Amant, ent is they, so it's they love. Mus here is we, carry. And then if you want to, you can fill out the rest of them and then fast forward it to see what I come up with at the end, or you can just follow along with me. T, he, she, or it. Specta, watches. O is I. Neko, kill. Servare, this RE means to. And then save. Sumus, mus is we, and that's the irregular, we are. Tis is y'all, or you plural. Y'all show, y'all point out. Nt is they, and then give. T, he, she, or it, and then nara, tells. Estis, the tis is y'all, and then R. O is I, I'm below, I walk. S, the T is he, she, or it is, so he is. The S on festinas is you, so you, festina, hurry. Uare, RE, to, help. Sum, I am. And liberat, T, he, she, or it, frees or liberates. Alright, keeping this train going. First declension, and we know first declension is A to AE. Second declension, for now, is US to I. So the case is over here. Nominative, subject. Genitive is possession. And usually you see a verb apostrophe SS apostrophe. Dative, indirect object. So you get the 2-4. Accusative is direct object, receives the action. Ablative, means or instrument, and you're going to get with, typically with the ablative. Now let's hit you up with the endings. We've got A, AE, AE, AM, A with a long mark, AE, A with a long mark, RUM, long IS, long AS, long IS. And then on the second declension side, you got US, long I, long O, UM, long O. The plurals, long I, long ORUM, long IS, long OS, long IS. And now down below it says determine the case of each word or phrase in parentheses. I told my wife she should embrace her mistakes and she gave a hug to me. This is an indirect object, so that's going to be dative. Scientists do not trust atoms because they make up everything. This is the direct object, so this is going to be accusative. I used to play piano by ear. Now I play with my hands and fingers. This with here is going to let you know it's ablative. Skeletons do not fight each other because they do not have the guts. This is the direct object. So accusative. I only know 25 letters of the alphabet and I do not know why. Of is our keyword there, telling us genitive. I used to be a baker because I needed dough. It's the subject, so nominative. Scientists trust genetics because it is all in your genes. We've got some possession action going on, so that's going to be genitive. Now, for the second page, we're getting into what we're learning, and that is prepositions and prepositional phrases. In Latin, prepositions are going to be words that show a positional relationship. All right, in English, there are more than that, but in Latin, for our purposes, positional relationship. So we've got this awesome kitty over here, and we've got some prepositions. Near the chair, under the table, on the chair, in the bowl, behind the plant, in front of the chair, between the yarn and box. Those words, near, under, on, in, behind, in front, between, those are all prepositions, and it's going to set up a location. Okay? So we're going to circle the preposition and underline the prepositional phrase. So on the table, there's a vase of fresh flowers. On, that's going to be helping us with our location. And then we need a noun to be the object. So the table is the object of on. That's our prepositional phrase. The cat sat under the tree enjoying the shade. Under is going to be our positional word. And tree is its object. So under the tree is going to be our prepositional phrase. We went for a walk along the beach at sunset. Along is our positional word, and then the beach is the object. So along the beach is our prepositional phrase. He found his keys inside the car. Inside the car is our prepositional phrase. She placed the book between the two candles. Between is our location word, position word, and candles is going to be our object. So between the two candles is our whole phrase. The kids played happily in the park. In is our location word. The park finishes out the phrase. We traveled through the mountains to reach the valley. Through is going to be our preposition, and the mountains will finish off the phrase as its object. The train passed over the bridge with a loud rumble. Over is our preposition. Over the bridge is our whole phrase. The ball rolled across the floor and stopped at my feet. Across the floor and at my feet are prepositional phrases. Then they built a house on top of the hill for the panoramic view. On top of the hill is our prepositional phrase. Now, there are other prepositional phrases in there, so I don't want teachers to be upset. Here are the other prepositional phrases. Okay, and the reason that I didn't focus on those phrases, of fresh flowers, for a walk, at sunset, with a loud rumble, for the panoramic view, Latin addresses those with cases. They don't necessarily give them prepositions. So for Latin, we just want to focus on location. Okay. Prepositions, words come before nouns that express a relationship, and for our purpose, a positional relationship. All right. Now, this underlined part is important. These are prepositions whose object is accusative. Up to now, we have seen accusative be the direct object. Now it's going to be the object of these prepositions. So per, which means through. Ad, which means to or toward. In, which is into. Super, above, over. Trans, across. Circum, around. Ante, before, in front of. Post, after, behind. Inter, between. Prope, next to. Now we got to translate these prepositional phrases into Latin. Across, so across is trans. Across the forest. In the box it said these are prepositions whose object is accusative, which means this object needs to be accusative. Oh, stylus isn't working. I got it back. Alright, we got it back. Sweet. Okay, so forest, silwamp. So the AM, it's accusative. Alright, between the villas. Between is inter. And then this has to be accusative because the object is accusative. So AS, accusative plural. Next to the road. Next to is prope. Road is the object, so it's got to be accusative. Around the villas. Circum is around. We need to make villas accusative because it's its object. Into the forest. In, and then make forest accusative because it's the object. Silwam. Toward the house. Odd. And then Willem, though I didn't use, or toward the horse, not the house. Oof. My bad. Equum. So horse is accusative. Next to the girl, we got prope. And girl needs to be accusative because she's the object of prope. Into the crowd. In, and then crowd's got to be accusative. Turbum. Between the friends. Inter. And friends is amicos. Accusative plural. Around the island, circum, and then island needs to be accusative, so insulum. Between the families, inter. And then families needs to be accusative because it's the object. And then above the forest, super. So on. Alright, so that's the first two pages. The big part, the big takeaway of this. Prepositions. The object of these prepositions that are in the box, dotted box thing, the object of those is going to be accusative. All right, just like what we did there.